Hey there guys, what is going on today? We're going to be talking about something very, very special in Cold War, of course, and that is long shots in this game. That can be a little bit tricky when you are trying to level up those camos, unlock gold camos, and then go into dark matter and stuff like that. So the long shots can be a little bit of a problem that a lot of people struggle with, but they have made it very, very easy in this game to actually get long shots, and we're about to talk about it here today, how you can get long shots fast and easy in Cold War. Just before we do get into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. We are very, very excited for all the mid-season update content that's coming very, very soon. So make sure you don't miss out on any of that. And also, I know about 90% of you guys watching this video right now are not subscribed, so if you could take the time to hit that little red button for me, that would be absolutely massive. So let's talk about some long shots here, ways to get them, how to make them a little bit easier to get, because as I said, it can be a little bit of a hassle sometimes. Okay, so the first thing that we can talk about here today is that all of the long shot distances are available in the combat record. If you do, of course, go into the barracks, into the combat record, into multiplayer, you can see that you do have all the weapons that you got kills with in this game. Now, next to each of them is the long shot range on the right hand side. So if you just look just like up above my finger there, essentially you see the long shot range for the SMGs for the most part. These should all be very, very similar. I haven't actually checked them all, but they should be very, very similar. So the long shot range for most of the SMGs is 36 meters. Now, that can be a little bit tricky. Again, like this is why we're talking about this. It can be a little bit tricky for you to get long shots with SMGs, but we see like AK-47, so 41 meters. The M16, which is like the tactical rifles, is 41 meters as well. Pellington is 51 meters, so snipers again are a little bit longer. Shotguns are 14 meters, which can be a little bit tricky in this game as the shotguns don't have great one-shot potential, so it can be, again, a bit annoying. Magnum is 25 meters, which is, again, fairly interesting in this game. Groza, 41. So for the most part, 25, 41, Street Sweeper 14. LMGs is, again, 41 meters, so these are all the distances that we can go at. So they're about 41, 25, 30-ish meters or so, and it does vary between each gun, and we'll list them all on screen so you don't forget. So feel free to take like a screenshot or something of this so you know all the numbers. Alright, so one of the more important pieces of advice that I can give you to get long shots, and really any of the camo challenges in Cold War, is to just play hardcore. For the most shot... no. Oh, amazing. Doing this live is always very, very interesting. So, if you do this in hardcore, for the most part, a lot of the weapons in this game are going to be a one-shot kill. The only weapon, I think there's two weapons that aren't a one-shot kill in hardcore, and that is the FFAR and something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. But all you have to do is, of course, jump into this. Jump into hardcore. There's usually people playing in the hardcore Nuketown playlist, so this shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, all you have to do is just wait for people to walk into your iron sights and shoot them. You get a one-shot kill for the most part across the map with a lot of these weapons, so it's usually not too difficult to rack up easy long shots. And hardcore is basically the camo hunter's dream game mode, because it's usually very, very easy to get a lot of these things done, especially when you can just one-tap people. Like, it's super easy. So my probably number one tip, and this goes for a lot of the other games in the Call of Duty history as well, is to just play hardcore if you are going for camos, mostly because you just get those one-shot kills that are just so super easy. The FFAR one, as I said, can be a little bit tricky because it is a little bit different. You don't get those one-shot kills with it, but it is what it is. Alrighty, so the next tip that we have got here for getting pretty easy long shots in this game is making use of the ping system. We have already mentioned how far long shots are for each of the specific weapons, so if you are looking for places to sit in, we're going to talk about some in a second that I do particularly like. But basically all you have to do to find out how far something away is just to hit a nice ping on it. Take out that kill there. But for the most part, that is 39 meters away, and because we do have an SMG, that is actually going to be a long shot from here. Like, if we actually manage to shoot somebody up there, it's a little bit tricky because it is quite far away. But with an SMG, you can usually equip like a larger scope and the largest barrel options and do the most damage you can at those longer distances. But all you have to do is know your distances and then hit a ping just to see how far away that particular distance is and if it's going to work or not. So just make use of the ping. This is such a good feature that they have added to regular multiplayer, mostly because of camos and stuff like that. Oi, oi, oi. Settled. I'm trying to explain something. Now again, some of these shots are going to be quite hard to hit, but if you are playing in hardcore, for the most part, all you're going to have to do is land one bullet. And as I said, in hardcore, that's really not that difficult to do, actually. So if you are trying to do this, you want to combine hardcore and using the ping system just to learn how far distances are. So if we are shooting down into there, for example, we're not going to get a long shot at that distance, even if they are at the very back. If we move back slightly, maybe that'll work, but again, that's probably too far to get a long shot there. So again, we are going to talk about some particular spots that I do particularly prefer in this game, some that are easy to get into, some that are a little bit more complicated, but for the most part, these spots are all very, very usable and definitely easy ways to get long shots in Cold War. Alrighty, so starting off with a place that you're all probably very familiar with is the backyard of Nuketown. So if you're looking at this door here, that is exactly 66 meters away. Now, if you are using a sniper, that is, of course, a 51 meter long shot kill. So if we do shoot somebody through that door, somebody's trying to peek us in that little slit there, or just through the door, we're going to get a long shot kill. And that's a very, very easy one. Most of the time, you can just hang out here, like, all map and just wait for people to peek into there. And for the most part, you will encourage, like, sniper battles. So this is a good place to start here. Another neato spot that you can go with here is, again, this corridor, big long line of sight. If people are spawning in that backyard, this is about 55 meters, and you can pretty much push up until the bus, and that'll still get you a long shot kill if people are spawning there. So again, this is a nice spot to start off with as well. Okay, so in this game, SMGs are slightly more forgiving as it is only a 36 meter long shot kill as we talked about before. And there's a lot of places on Nuketown that you can just get a long shot. Like even in the backyard there, if you are shooting somebody who is at this sign and you're right there, that's a long shot kill, and vice versa from the sign to the yellow barn back there. If people are for some reason leaning against that, that is always going to be a long shot kill. It can be a little bit tricky with like exact distances, so maybe you want to stand a little bit further back, but there's a lot of opportunities for long shots on this map. Like even across the courtyard there, if you are using like a little bit of a medium like length sight, you can usually just shoot across the courtyard and pick up some long shots. So it can be a little tricky with SMGs, but if you are playing on hardcore, as we said earlier, you just get one shot kills for the most part with most of the weapons. So even back there, if you are just sort of peeking and peeking at people like that do walk through there, you might get a couple of cheeky long shots with an SMG. Now, on raid, there actually are loads of spots that you can go with that there's probably too many for me to cover in this particular video here. So we're going to go over 3 of my favorite ones. Now, this is, of course, a very, very well-known spot. Everybody sits up in here. If you take a look, ping over there, 55 meters, that's going to get you a one-shot kill or even a long shot with your sniper. So that's something to keep in mind. Down there is a little bit less, but if you are shooting somebody with an SMG in this little section here, even with an assault rifle, for the most part, you're going to get a long shot as long as they are sort of back there. But you can even like take it back a few steps to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Back there as well, 46 meters. But again, if you do play in hardcore and you manage to get like a one-shot kill on somebody back there, you're going to get an easy long shot with an SMG. Again, this is a spot that everybody knows about on this map, as it is just a common spot to sit. If you are shooting people in there, that's a 48 meter distance. Again, even back there, that's a little bit further, but people on the stairs just there are about 50 meters away. So if you are using an SMG or an assault rifle, or even sometimes you can get away with a sniper, sometimes you can sort of get some long shots from here if you are standing at the back of this room. But like even an SMG is just going to get a kill. In hardcore, a one-shot kill on those distances there is going to get you a long shot. Alright, so another one of my favorite spots that is a little bit less obvious is to look over here. In that little platform that when you jump up there, you're sort of pretty stuck. If you look, that is a 55 meter shot. So even with a sniper, if you sit here in this spot, even on regular game modes, you're going to get a one-shot kill with like a sniper. Or even in hardcore with like an SMG or an assault rifle, you're easily able to take a look and peek at somebody who is sitting on that box back there. It's an easy shot, like, it's an easy long shot on this map. Alrighty, so one of the reasons we are taking a look at Apocalypse here is because there is the Nuclear Apocalypse playlist. Now, if you are on this position, this is a nasty head glitch to sit on. With an SMG, if you are looking at that building there, that is about 31, almost 40 meters away. So if you are playing in hardcore, somebody peeks out of this building here, you give them a little one tap, you are getting a long shot. As well, from this same position, you look down there, that is slightly a similar distance, but even then, at the back there, you might even be able to shoot somebody back there. So again, even in hardcore, little one shot, you're going to get a long shot. And then again, the same building, on the other side, 37 meters away, so this can be a little bit inconsistent. So it's 36, so you might want to stand a little bit further back. But in hardcore, if somebody does peek out, you give them a little one tap and you're getting a long shot there as well. If you are, again, sitting in this position here, you can look all the way back into the enemy spawn, which is particularly effective on, as we have mentioned a number of times already, hardcore. You can see that truck is about 45 meters away. The back at that site there is about 30 meters away, 50 meters away, depending. So you can usually get like nice little shots, and that includes this spot as well. If you get shots on people who are running across, even with like an assault rifle, a sniper, a tactical rifle, you're going to get a one-shot kill, a long shot in hardcore, very, very easily at this distance. And they're not really too difficult shots to hit, really, especially if you do have like a medium range sight on an SMG. And then lastly, you can look back up through the middle of the map. If you can manage to hit a shot on somebody who is peeking over there, you're definitely getting a long shot. And as well as that window, lots of people usually like to peek there. You do have to keep an eye on this doorway here, which is not a long shot, but that is a usual position that people will come through. So just keep an eye on this window, that doorway, and that doorway there, and you should be able to get long shots pretty easily in that window. But just to wrap things up here as well, you can take a look at Fireteam Dirty Bomb or even the combined arm game modes on those larger maps where you can just sort of sit slightly further back than you normally would and just pick people off. But as usual, the most effective way is to just jump into a very effective long shot spot that we have talked about previously in hardcore with a medium to long range sight. SMGs, pistols, whatever you do prefer, and just pick off people. It does take a little bit of time regardless of how many or how effective or how good your positioning is and how good you are at shooting people at those longer distances. It's still going to take a lot of time to get these long shots, so keep that in mind when you are going for them. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it, of course. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. Again, I massively appreciate it and it really does help me out. And of course, 90% of you guys watching this video right now are not subscribed, so if you could take the time to hit that little red button, that would be absolutely massive for me. I will see you in the next one. Bye!